Once upon a time, a group of frogs were traveling through the woods when, suddenly, two of them fell into a deep pit. The other frogs gathered around the edge, peering down at their unfortunate friends below. Seeing how deep the pit was, they began to shout in dismay, telling the two trapped frogs that it was hopeless. They would never get out. But the two frogs in the pit refused to give up. Despite the discouraging words, they began to jump with all their might, trying to escape. The frogs above kept yelling, insisting that the effort was futile and that they were as good as dead. Eventually, one of the trapped frogs, overwhelmed by despair and the relentless negativity, gave up. He stopped jumping, collapsed, and soon passed away. The other frog, however, refused to listen. He continued to jump as hard as he could. The crowd above shouted even louder, telling him to stop, to accept his fate, to spare himself the pain. But the frog only jumped harder, and to everyone's amazement, he eventually leapt out of the pit. When he emerged, the other frogs asked in shock, "Why did you keep jumping? Didn't you hear us?" The frog, who was deaf, smiled and explained, "I thought you were cheering me on the whole time." This story reflects the journey of Golden Lotus Fish Farms. Just like the frog in the pit, we started with a vision, a dream of creating something different, something sustainable. At the beginning, many people looked at our idea and thought it was silly, impractical, or even destined to fail. They couldn't see the potential, just as the frogs couldn't see a way out of the pit. People doubted us, they questioned our approach, and they told us to stop before we got in too deep. But like the deaf frog, we kept pushing forward, fueled by our belief in what we were doing. We couldn't hear the naysayers, or maybe we chose not to listen. Instead, we believed in the encouragement of those who understood our vision, and we kept jumping, higher and higher, until we finally emerged. Golden Lotus Fish Farms is now thriving, proof that sometimes the greatest successes come from those who refuse to listen to doubt. We may have started slowly, and it may have seemed impossible to some, but by staying true to our purpose and persevering against all odds, we've turned what others saw as a silly idea into a reality. We've built a sustainable future, not just for ourselves, but for the communities and ecosystems we serve. So, if you ever find yourself doubting your own journey or the journey of others, remember the frog who couldn't hear the negativity around him and kept going until he achieved the impossible. That's the spirit of Golden Lotus Fish Farms, and it's the spirit that will carry us forward into a future where sustainability and innovation go hand in hand. What do you need for us to get you involved with our movement?